makeup artist, like Ranveer has 50 kilos ka wig on him. Oh my god.
You know the stuff he was wearing at the end was 12 kilos or something. The stuff that he was wearing in Khalbali. And Ranveer Singh. And Ranveer Singh was like, "Isne mujhe end pe karaya," because he wanted me to sort of be hopeless. But you know when you're really tired and then that a moment of power comes in? Yeah. So Sanjay Leela Bhansali wanted him to do that. I'm like, bro, this guy is crazy. But that's... Vijay sir, pranam, kya haal hai aapke?
बस बढ़िया सर, आपकी दुआ है. Okay, by the way, Zaigham Bhai is a filmmaker. तो भाई सबका introduction will be giving, but before that, I'm so sorry for this shirt. ठीक है, I was not told कि भाई अभी होने वाला है, ये टाइम पे होने वाला है, पक्का होने वाला है, because सारे तो मैं अभी कैसा भी मतलब पैंडेमिक है, मतलब होता है ना, लॉकडाउन चल रहा है, तो भाई कहीं घूम नहीं सकते. तो मैं कल रात को सपने में गोवा में था, मैं बस उठ के आया वहाँ से. So this is the reason I was not getting any other shirt. This is the only fresh one that I'm just wearing that. I'm so sorry for that. Okay.
And I'm liking the orange background with it too.
I'll tell thank you to my painter for that. I'm getting a lot of compliments for that, not for me. That's a strange thing. ठीक है, painter को सारे credits जा रहे हैं मेरे. Okay, honestly, चलो अभी start करते हैं. We'll start. Before we start, I would request Chaitanya, the model, now an entrepreneur, of dealing with the self. And he's the reason why the Artist Roundtable is happening. And first of all, welcome each and every one of you at the 4th episode of Artist Roundtable. Man, this is going international. By the way, Chaitanya, congratulations. London se we have artists who have connected with us from London, from US. That's an amazing thing. Bhai, the graph is going like sahi ja raha hai graph, sir. So I would request Chaitanya to give a brief idea what exactly is dealing with the self and what was the reason behind starting the Artist Roundtable.
So I'm very happy to see a few of my friends out here, like Tanvi, Vrinda, Zaid, Zaigham. So a very warm welcome to all you guys. Dealing with the Self is a small brand that I started on my own. It's about personality development. It's something I wanted to do a very long time before. But then I guess I myself needed some time, to figure out how to begin this and how to go ahead with it. Once I did begin this, I realized that a lot of creative artists have begun leaving the field during the lockdown, and we needed to cross-skill and upskill ourselves so that we can venture forward. We can explore our art in other directions as well. We all have content, right? We all have amazing content. Zaid has content in terms of fitness, Tanvi in terms of acting, Vrinda in terms of hair, filmmaking, boudoir, so many things. But the point is, our content is just limited to the direction in which we go for. So why not explore more platforms? Why not, expand? And that's exactly where the Artist Roundtable came into the picture, just to help an artist buy an artist. That's pretty much it. That's all I'm going to say.
Awesome. That's really awesome, Chaitanya. I really love the concept when you introduced to me day before yesterday. And it's a very good thing, I feel, to cross-communicate between people of different specializations so that we can grow in all the directions. Thank you very much for inviting and hosting this.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, I believe at the end of the day. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just saying at the end of the day, it's all about connecting and kind of helping each other out. That's how I've gotten here, wherever I've reached so far. So yeah, that's what you're doing, and I'm really glad you're doing it.
Thank you. And one more thing to realize is, many times, an actor would see probably an actor's roundtable. Or, a fitness person would see someone who's more about fitness, या फिर उसका interview. But how many times do people, different creatives actually come together to help each other? And when we are on set, whatever, even if it's a single picture, it's the outcome of so many people. It's never just one person. So we can't always just depend upon one creative. We need to know about the others as well. So
I was just going to say, majorly a team effort that comes ahead in the... Yeah.
Awesome. Like Chaitanya was telling, an actor will connect only in Actors Roundtable or a model in the Models Roundtable if there is any. I don't know that. But it was sounding very good to say Models Roundtable. That is the reason I told. Okay, so today's window is very versatile. Like, एकदम अलग है as God. The whole window of the artists today who have joined with us. तो भाई, before we actually start the whole session, भाई एक खेल खेलेंगे आए. देवी और सजनों एक छोटा सा खेल खेलेंगे. और वो खेल है fastest introduction first. आपको 2 मिनट दिया जाएगा. हाँ, 2 मिनट के अंदर आपका इंट्रोडक्शन आपको देना है. 2 मिनट से ज्यादा हुआ, हमने आप सबके प्रोफाइल स्टॉक किया, हमें अच्छे से पता है आप लोग बहुत ही बेहतरीन टैलेंटेड आर्टिस्ट हो. तो आपका टैलेंट जो है वो फिर बताना होगा अगर 2 मिनट से ज्यादा जाता है. ये करने का कारण यही है भाई, जितना टाइम स्टार्टिंग में कम हो ताकि फिर क्वेश्चन आंसर्स में हमें ज्यादा टाइम मिले. लेकिन अगर आपको अपना जो आर्ट फॉर्म है वो दर्शाना ही है तो भाई 15-20 मिनट का इंट्रोडक्शन दीजिए, हमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं. तो we will stick with 2 minutes. Honestly, it's not switching like anything. So we'll start with Tanvi.
Okay, firstly, I want to ask if you guys can hear me because my connectivity is really bad right now. Can you hear me? All good? Okay, yeah. Awesome. Okay, well, I want to start off with how I started off with my career. I was brought up in the States. I started this whole thing with pageantry. I have 9 pageant titles, and I started thinking that I wanna expand myself and I wanna get into acting because I love being in front of the camera so much. So we made the move. Landed in Mumbai. I started auditioning, and I've been doing a lot of ads. So I'm an actor. I'm a model, also a voiceover artist, which I've been venturing a lot more in the past during the pandemic because we're home. So that's what I've been doing a whole lot these days, along with my acting and modeling. And I'm not sure exactly where it's gonna go, but I'm hoping to dub in voiceover for bigger projects as of now. So I'm gonna keep it short and just that's it, and then save the rest for later.
Awesome. So moving ahead now, I would request makeup artist and hair artist Vrinda.
Hi guys, this is Vrinda Rajput. So basically, I am from Mumbai. A very short intro. There's nothing much to say, but I've studied office management. So basically, when I was studying, I realized I'm not the one who can, do a 9 to 5 job and sit in one place and I can't do it. So that time I realized, okay, my passion is hair. So I've done my course from Hakim Alam. That was around in 2009. So basically it's been almost 10 years now I'm in the industry. But freelancing and especially movies, digital ads, that I've started doing freelancing since 2.5 years. So yeah, that's my passion, and I'm really happy that I'm doing something what I like. So I always tell people, it doesn't matter, where you come from, what you're studying, what you're doing. You should always do what you like to do. Yeah, that's it. I think I've kept it quite short.
People are like, नहीं, Sunday की सुबह को आ गए हम, ऊपर से परफॉर्म भी करा देगा तो फिर भाई पूरा दिन कैसे तो जाएगा, कुछ प्रिपेयर नहीं किया हुआ है करके. तो they are like sticking with the time. That's a very smart audience. Okay, now I would request Zaigham Hameed Butt साहब to kindly unmute yourself. London-based filmmaker जो अभी आए हैं, इंडिया दर्शन दे रहे हैं, हमारे बीच में है. Zaigham sir, over to you.
Well, thank you, Vijay. I think it's first like to thank Chaitanya to invite me for this roundtable. It's really nice to be around amongst other creative artists. So basically I studied filmmaking in London for I think 5 years, and then I started my own production company in London. So right now we are specializing in short film media. So we make short films and also commercials on the side, but primarily short form media, in which it comes limited series as well. Short films, limited series, and now we're just venturing into feature films, but also very niche. We're only getting into the co-production sector with it. So co-production between countries that are not represented on the mainstream screens, like in UK, so like Saudi, India, and all that stuff. We're trying to. Well, India is represented in UK quite a lot, but we're trying to get other countries that are on, like Romania and Saudi, to get them back to the mainstream sort of cinema. So yeah, so that's where it sort of started. And I was a brown man in London. I was like, you know what, got to do it ourselves, because it's not as easy being a white man in the film industry, which is quite obvious. And I'm sure even Tanvi would agree to that, how it is being an actress as well, being a brown actress as well. But I think things are changing. Things are looking positive. Parasite coming and taking the main film just gives us some kind of belief. Things might change. Hopefully, when Trump leaves, things will get better. But until that, I think we just have to strive. So yeah, that's briefly about me. And right now, I've sort of come back to India. I'm working with the British High Commission, trying to sort of gauge a bit more of the Indian audience as well, because short form is really, really big in India. So this is a good market that you can't really ignore, and plus I am from India, so I really want to use that, that access to language, that access to context, and then sort of build connection between UK and India. So yeah, that's basically what I'm doing. We're in the middle of a couple of pitches. Everything got pushed back. As you guys know, COVID, we couldn't film anything. I'm still not confident to go out and film. My partners have already started going out and filming. I can't do it. I'm a hypochondriac. I get really scared. So I'm just waiting for things to calm down. I'm just spending time writing right now, and then hopefully when things get better, we get back to filming. So that's all about me.
Zaigham भाई बच गए 1 सेकंड मैंने टाइमर लगाया था I was waiting कि भाई 2 मिनट प्लस होते थे. I know मतलब he has amazing talent है. मतलब बंदा एकदम great singer he is. ठीक है.
अरे
बच गया.
सिंगर विंगर नहीं हूँ भाई. Anyhow.
नहीं मैं अनुशासन प्रशिक्षण जो भी है ना वो सब फॉलो करता हूँ. जो मुझे को नहीं फॉलो करते इंस्टाग्राम में, उनको मैं सबको फॉलो करता हूँ. ठीक है. तो मैं आप बच गए. On a serious note, आप बच गए 1 minute 59 seconds. कोई नहीं. Next time ये पकड़ूंगा किसी को तो टारगेट करूंगा. Okay, moving ahead, we have a stylist in our house who is already judging me and a lot of people by their shirts and the kind of thing they're doing. So I would tell her stop doing that and give her introduction. I would request Samiha, please, over to you, Samiha.
So I'm a Chennai-based stylist and self-employed entrepreneur. I've studied my designing from NIFT, and then I did my masters from Colimoda. I started this because when I was younger, I would love being in front of the camera. Then as I got older, I realized I liked what was behind the camera. So I've been doing everything that's behind the camera. Like I do a lot of things when it comes to creativity and designing. Front of camera नहीं आना, पीछे में कुछ भी कर लेगा ऐसा. So that's basically what I do. If I have to put it in a nutshell. Yeah.
Awesome भाई. इतना ही है, ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं है. इतना ही बोलूँगी. कैमरा के सामने ना तो कॉन्शियस में ज़्यादा नहीं.
इतना ही है.
इतना ही है, बाकी टेक्स्ट में मिलेगा.
ऐसे आ जाएगा टेक्स्ट में, अभी नहीं आएगा.
अभी वो मुश्किल है. अभी इतना खुद के बारे में बोलने कितना बोलेगा.
कुछ नहीं है. बाकी
अभी बोल सकते हो यार, ये 2 मिनट के ऊपर कोई नहीं जा रहा यार. कोई तो जाए कि मैं कुछ तो कराऊं. Okay. Anyway, moving ahead, we have fitness के सरताज. We have Zaid Khan with us. He's nutritionist, fitness coach. Zaid Khan, over to you, sir.
So, my name is Zaid Khan. I'm a civil engineer. I have recently completed my MBA. I've followed all the society norms just to break them all. So right now I'm an entrepreneur with a team of over 10 people. We have helped over 1,700 people from over 18 countries in the period of last 2 to 3 years. And we make people healthy physically, emotionally and mentally. That's what we specialize in. We have a team of psychologists, trainers, nutritionists and everyone. I am myself an influencer and I do get modeling opportunities. I sometimes do it, I sometimes don't. But fitness, wellness is a thing that I focus on. I recently shifted to Andheri, so it feels really close to be on a Zoom session and be close to all of you. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Zaid sir, I want to ask you one question. भाई हम इंजीनियरिंग करके समझ गए आगे नहीं करना है कुछ. आपने सिविल इंजीनियरिंग की, उसके बाद MBA किया, and now you're switched altogether into fitness. Like what inspired you?
So I did my MBA to learn business, and that's what I'm doing right now. So it's more of business. So fitness.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's the reason. Sorry, I got my maid here. So a bit
कोई नहीं सेम है आगे अभी बर्तन की आवाज आएंगी कुकर की आवाज आएंगी आप प्लीज एडजस्ट कर लेना Okay, last but certainly not the least, we have an amazing artist. Who I don't know whether Chaitanya is like, bhai, pronounce अच्छे से करना. Okay, we have a boudoir artist with us. Arjama Bakshi, please. This is a very, very, very interesting art form. The moment Chaitanya told me this, I'm like, please, इनको बुलाओ, हमको और जानना है. This is a very challenging art form that she is doing. We want to hear a lot of things about it. Over to you.
So, hi everyone. I'm from Calcutta. I'm pursuing undergraduate in sociology from Jalpur University, and I just got promoted to my second year now. And basically, I'm a boudoir artist, which I focus on nude art, which is very underrated. And so yeah, I have my own organization called Sharisi, which is going to be legal this month, real soon, which also advocates for body positivity and mental health awareness. And so yeah, it's just that I have started working in this field this January, so I'm pretty new to this art form. But I have been learning, I have been exploring a lot. So yeah, so there's that. So.
No, Arjuna was like, I'm a newbie, but kudos to you. You have taken a very, very super challenging and very interesting art form as a career. So hats off to you.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, you are telling me. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying that, yeah, since I, I'm just saying that since I had body image issues, this field has helped me a lot to accept myself and, grow. So yeah, so that's it.
Awesome. Bhai, now the window is open. You guys have any questions which you have framed now, or you have had a question which was framed long back and it is still unanswered? Bhai, over to you guys. Mera kaam almost khatam. Oh, before we do that, okay, before we do that, we have one more artist, very important artist. Okay, one more artist. we have. So he was a computer engineer turned model, now an entrepreneur. Chaitanya, now you have to give an introduction about you as an artist.
Hi.
Nothing as artist roundtable or dealing with yourself. But if people have some questions about modeling, they can ask you.
They can ask me, they can ask Tanvi, but yeah, okay. So yeah, as you already said, computer engineer turned theatre artist, turned computer science person, turned IT professional, turned model now finally, full-time, yes, and happily I would say, with a few brands like, I don't know, Myntra, Bose, Skechers, and every shoot feels like a new shoot, yeah, it feels like a new start. It's been like around 3 to 4 years. Tanvi is one of the few people in my life that I'm really thankful for. During the complete initial years, she was someone who was very giving. She was open to talk to in terms of what is it, how is it, how things flow. As I moved ahead in life, I came across a lot of these people who were open to giving and who were open to sharing. I guess that is where I took in that positivity and decided to take it forward. So, thank you, Tanvi. I don't think I've said
I'm so overwhelmed right now. This is, I think, the first time you've said it out loud, and I'm so overwhelmed. But yeah, I come from a place where I think my schooling is what has created or engraved that into me. I went to a school with people from multiple places, right? So it's always about giving, and that's what has cultivated in myself, and that's how I grew. So whenever some model, may it be even a female model, I always get this. People tell me I am like the most insecure, non-insecure person, because I feel like every person has their individuality. So even if I give a number or a contact, it's how they make or how they construct that for themselves. I can provide you with a list of numbers. I can provide you with emails, but if you're not going to do anything about it,
exactly,
I can't really help you. I can't spoon feed you. So if I feel that you're really, really, excited about your work, and I feel like I could do just that little bit to maybe push you a little ahead in your journey, then why wouldn't I? I mean, that's what we're here for. anymore. We're not gonna take anything with us when we die. So I mean, I don't see the whole hype about, oh, I'm gonna be secretive about my contacts. I'm not gonna share it. So when I find people who relate to this, Samiha being one of them, Chaitanya being one of them who I work with. So that feels really, really nice that, hey, I'm not the only one. So I'm glad.
Feeling is reciprocated, by the way.
Same.
Yep.
Awesome. So, bhai, सारे artists का introduction हो गया. So now the whole window is open for questions. If you have any, please feel free to ask.
Okay, I had one question about I think it's more about Samiha and Arjama. So Samiha, if you were to style Arjama, okay, as we know, styling is not just about clothes, and Arjama is into boudoir, which is something that is minimalistic or lesser on clothes. How would you go ahead and style such a set, or what are the things that you would consider?
So I remember her saying she had a body image issue, and that's why she took this up. I think way of channelizing what you do. So I think the first thing would be to give her something that would make her feel larger than life. Slightly make her feel oh, how fancy do I feel about myself? What you're wearing is, I love what you're wearing. Maybe I don't know how to say. I dress up like a mini Ranveer Singh. I'm loud, but she could.
That was just for Ranveer Singh. That was just for Ranveer Singh.
Yeah. So, I would love that if she wore those long capes that make her feel just what you're wearing, nothing over it, just a cape to make you feel how you had something to flutter and walk, so you felt really fancy, something like that. She said.
But what if she's doing a shoot which is boudoir, okay, which is nude art? So you can't style her with clothes. Then what are the things that you can use around her or with her, or
A sheet of fabric. Just take a sheet of fabric, whatever you want to cover. Fabric just helps you cuddle it around that. If you have a problem showing your upper region, you just take fabric and cover it like this and use that in your pose. French artists, even in the nude art, if I don't know the names, they used to do this thing when they used to lie down on fabric and pull the fabric wherever they're not comfortable showing it. So it was still nude art, but it covered whatever she didn't want to cover. So that's a nice trick. There's also nude art has a lot of natural elements to it also, flowers, leaves. A lot of nude art has leaves. Even again, Spanish artists used to paint their leaves and put it up on their body.
Interesting.
So those kind of things would be really interesting.
I really like how she's getting references in not just from her own experience, but from outside and whatever she's seen as well. And that's beautiful, really beautiful to me. Nice.
Thank you.
I really suck at fashion. And Samiha, you literally made me cry listening to all the references and everything. I would definitely need your help. I need to buy some new clothes.
Because 100%.
And for the Arjama, is that right?
Yeah, Arjama.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I'm into fitness, so I always look at people's physical body. So I was just trying to figure out, and you were definitely one of the one who doesn't really need a lot of fitness thing. So the body image issue that you feel, you are really beautiful, and you are doing an amazing job.
Thank you. That's really kind of you.
Sorry, but she has such a beautiful smile.
Yeah,
there's
her smile is very beautiful.
So much in her smile, right? I just can't stop looking at it.
Thank you.
I love the appreciation. I'm waiting for the questions. I'm wondering how Zaigham bhai is all shut and mum. He's मैं तो सुनूंगा. इसमें तो film बनेगी.
I mean,
भाई डायरेक्टर है वो डायरेक्टर का काम ही वो है. कास्ट भी उसके हिसाब से करेगा.
I like to listen to different stories because you never know what you can pick up and take and make a film out of it or something like that. You know what I mean? So I'm just listening. And plus, when it comes to fashion, I've got for 3 years now. You know what I mean? So about designer.
All guys do that.
Sustainability.
I swear to God, for me, a shirt that's comfortable is what I wear. I cannot get bogged down with. Apart from suits.
Tell you, this I've been wearing for 5 years. So
see, it feels good, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the thing. So because to be honest, for me, it's all about comfort. Because ya to likh raha hu, ya to set pe hu. So it's not really about apart from obviously if you've gone for a premiere or something like that, then you can suit up, and that's like once in a couple of months. वरना तो हम बेचारे कैमरा के पीछे लोग वहीं पे बैठे रहते हैं, you know what I mean? So it's not really fancy.
पीछे रहते हैं हम, अच्छे नहीं दिखते, हम आज तैयार हो गए हैं.
Yeah. So yeah,
So I have a question.
played.
I have a question for Zaid. I mean,
Yeah.
Since I am like working in this arena of body positivity, I wanted to ask, how do you deal with people who do not understand the basic difference between normalizing obesity and fitness, So how do you deal with that thing?
So right now, so it is from people's point of view or from the point of view of a person who is obese.
No, from your point of view, I just want to like ask how if people ask you that fitness is like, often people misunderstand the entire concept of fitness, and they think that fitness forces people to some extent to not accept their body and to to become slim and that way. So how do you work around this concept?
So as a matter of fact, I was going through body image issue myself in this lockdown because I was not able to work out, not follow proper diet and everything. The gyms were closed. Home workouts is not my thing because I lift heavy weights. So I myself was losing track of my body, and I went into body image issue. And that's when I realized that if I can go into this thing, there are many people who are already going into this thing, and many more can. So it's very important to accept yourself. See, the only thing why I focus on fitness is not abs. It's more about a healthy body fat percentage. That's it. So if you can move around easily and you have a healthy, decent body fat percentage, that's more than enough. It's not necessary to show abs. It's not necessary to have all the veins or have a perfect zero figure. It's all about how you love yourself. So whenever people come to us, we have psychologists. I'm doing a transformation specialist course where we deal more with psychology. People think fitness is about diet and workout. It is not. Trust me. I don't remember. Sorry, just a second. Tanvi said, I can give you all the contacts and all the emails and everything, but if you're not using it, it's a waste of your efforts and my effort. So I can give you the best diet. If you just search up Kareena Kapoor's diet, you will get it on Google. If you search up Dwayne Johnson's workout, you will get it. But if you don't know how to incorporate it for yourself, then it is of no point. And that's how we focus on. We try to bring up the positive side of a person. So just like it's a small thing, for you, we said that you look beautiful, you have an amazing smile. So that boosted your confidence. I can then slowly focus on the things that you have really nice arms or shoulders or whatever we can. And then that's how we build up confidence in a person. For people who are obese, what they should understand is, I am not asking them to change themselves because they are obese. I'm asking it is because healthy for them. So that's one thing that people should understand, what is health for them, and then they can move ahead with it. It's a long topic, but in a nutshell, we can sum it up in this way.
I just want to ask how difficult it is to explain people this thing. Like, do people accept it? Like, there's a lot of difference between being fit and like being like thin, right? So like people do accept it, or it's very difficult to make them understand those
Very
things.
difficult.
Like because according to me, like the only thing matters for them is like, I want to lose weight. I just want to look thin. Right. So I'm sure it's very difficult to make them understand these things, that every particular body has different kind of structure and a different way, like, to reduce weight or the way it looks. So,
you're absolutely right. So because see, fitness is a very huge industry. I'm talking in general because every one of us is into that thing, because every one of us has a body and everyone wants to be healthy. People don't want to be healthy. People want to be fit, or they want to be slim. They don't want to be healthy. And to be precise, even Chaitanya can relate because he has done shoots and everything. During shoots, Chaitanya, the time that we go through the water cut down when the abs are most visible, it is a time where our immunity is like that of a child or that of an 60-plus-year-old man, because that is not healthy. Going below 8% body fat, 6% body fat percentage is not healthy. People don't understand that losing weight is not about becoming thin. It's more about being healthy. Immune system is good, and all those things are important.
Exactly.
It's very difficult though. People don't understand.
I get that question a lot. They're like, "Arey yaar, you're a model. You always need to maintain your abs and everything. This that." I'm like, yeah, but it's about your balance as well, right? There's always an input and there's an output. Agar input output pe ratio barabar laga lo, then your abs will be maintained. It is pretty much as simple as that. And as he correctly said, I mean, it's about being fit, it's about being healthy, it's about being free of disease. आपकी knees पे, आपके joints पे ज़्यादा strain या stress नहीं आ रहा है. Those things are more important. Then आपके abs है कि नहीं?
Then looking thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I agree with Zaid. I think I just like to add on to it because I personally went through a huge transformation recently. I literally jumped off to 132 kilos, right? And I was like, what's happened now?
Wow.
Now I'm down to 113. So I'm slowly coming down, obviously over a couple of months, but
Yes.
I think Arjama, there's always one thing that really sort of draws me back from the whole new idea of body positivity. Because before, body positivity was more about you accept it. Right? You accept it. You need to love your body no matter how big you are, no matter how tiny you are. You love your body. But then you got to understand, okay, listen, if you take a picture of your heart, it's got fat around it, right? So you gotta really boil that down and sort of come down and, come back to shape. That doesn't mean you don't look beautiful when you're big or when you're small or anything. You're sharp the way you are, right? But sort of the new part of, and I've got loads of friends who do this, like, who write a lot about body positivity, and we always have this question, like, I agree with what you're saying, but you just can't tell people that is the right way of living. Do you know what I mean? That being fat is the right thing to do. No, I think being fat should not be a problem with how you look or not. That shouldn't even be a consideration. It's sad that people consider that. You know what I mean? But I think the more body positivity turns towards sort of joins hands with fitness, I think it'll be such a healthy movement, rather than right now, loads of people getting stuck into it and are sort of oblivious of the fact that, hey, I'm fat. Like, for example, me, anytime I told someone in London, man, I've gained so much, they're like, oh, but don't worry, you look good. I said, I never said I look bad. Do you know what I mean? What are you trying to say I look bad? Like, I never said I look bad. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, they instantly want to make you feel better.
Yeah, and I'm like, bro, you're gonna kill me. You're gonna you're not being nice to me because you got to tell me, okay, yeah, bro, you look sharp, but but obviously not a random person can come up and tell you, I think you should lose weight. Obviously that's stupid. But like someone that you sort of have that comfort level with, I think that is sort of the moment you mix these two things, like your art form and fitness, I think it can be a really good change for the world in a way.
Yeah, I think more than
I want to add
people.
something.
Sorry, you can say.
Go ahead, Vrinda. You haven't spoken.
No, I was just saying more than you, it's the people that make you feel, oh, you're, gaining weight, or instantly people will come to you and say, oh, have you lost weight or have you put on weight? And I'm like, I'm sure it's so personal that it's okay. If I want to gain weight, it's okay. Like, it shouldn't be like people come and tell you, oh, you need to like what you just said. It's completely right. Like, it shouldn't be others' problem.
Yeah.
Then
I
the
think
thing
it's
comes
Indian culture, like the first thing they notice about you after they meet you, oh, aap patle ho gaye. Oh, aapne 2 kilo aur badha liye.
Yeah. So I wanted to add and let Arjama know that me being in front of the camera has made me so conscious about the way my body is structured. It looks a certain way in person. People always tell me, oh, you look really tiny. Or when they meet me in person, when they see me in front of camera, my family, they're like, oh, okay, no, you look fine, like you gained weight. So they don't understand this concept of when you're in front of the camera. I'm pretty sure a lot of us know this because we've worked around cameras, that your body tends to look a little more plump compared to what it really is. So keeping my size a certain way, people have questioned me, people have thrown stuff at me, which they think is the norm or how they feel they should perceive or look at a body. But for me, I went from being really, really like chubby. So I was about 52 kg and now I've gone to being 47 and it keeps fluctuating. My personal tailor, he goes crazy. He's like, ma'am, aapka body hamesha change hota rehta hai. Ye kya hai? I'm just like, I don't know, but I just, whenever I feel like I need to eat and that I need that energy that I need to eat, I don't think about that flab or that arm going loose or whatever. I just kind of eat because I need that energy because I have to work. I have to work hours that are a little crazy. So recently when I was shooting for the series, I remember I was eating chocolate and like extremely unhealthy stuff, but that's what kept me going for that night. But I know that I'm gonna balance it out. So body image and this whole what is right for you, you have to decide. Nobody will come and tell you and shouldn't tell you this. You kind of have to figure out. We all grow up finding, Ritik's body as a guy really, really amazing. And then for girls, it's like Katrina Kaif abs. But again, it's about how your body works for you. And there are certain portions and parts which are amazing that you might not find amazing, but somebody else would. So that's like an ongoing thing.
Just wanted to add to that. I was 55 kilos when I joined college. My college is stressful. I'm from NIFT. We have months where we don't sleep, like an hour a day, 2 hours a day. And
Samiha, your voice.
Can you hear me now?
It's very low.
Is it better?
Slightly.
If it doesn't get better, then I can add my earphones in sometime. So I'm from NIFT and we don't sleep because of the work we have. And I tend to stress eat like a lot. I've put on 14 kilos in the last 8 years. I'm a sports person and a dancer, and I know how to keep myself fit. But over the last 8-9 years, I have stress eaten. Like I think I've eaten for the entire country, and I can really munch when I'm stressed. And that has, I think, in lockdown, because I had nothing else to do and I had time to introspect, I went into this 1 month of, let's starve, let's not eat and these things. And then I was like, no, I can't do this. I love food. I like to sleep. I don't get sleep because of that. So now I just like, if it takes me 3 years, it takes me 3 years to lose it, but I'll do it the way I want to do it. And I've never had body image issues, but this I know can, like, not being able to find quick results can like take a toll on your head. It almost did, and then I was like, nah, I can't do this. So those things I also know can, like, something you've done but don't realize can also have effects on you mentally and physically. So yeah, I just wanted to add to that because she said, she was stress eating. I really stress eaten. Like, you would see munchies around me when I used to work.
Oh yeah, and different things work for different people. I believe Zaid would agree with me on this. Because it's as per body type, it's as per what you've grown up eating. So it's a lot of things. What might work for me might not work for Chaitanya or might not work for Vrinda, but it works for me. So you have to always find that, what works for you.
Personalization is very important. Talking about the people who make you feel bad, like you gain weight or lose weight, whatever they think, they see something and they speak it out. But then we cannot cover the whole world with carpet. We can wear a pair of shoes. So we should work on ourselves, we should focus on ourselves rather than taking opinions from others.
I'm going to be on my wall.
Right here. I need a shirt that's it.
So I'll start the merchandise very soon.
I knew that was coming. See?
Nice business.
And I also think body positivity has a larger spectrum, like, normalizing body hair, or normalizing, unibrow or grey hair, for that matter. We often don't think about, the larger spectrum of body positivity, but it includes every single part of our body. So it's not like, my main motive always has been like to make people think beyond just the fat body positivity movement, as it's like, or thin body positivity movement. Yeah. But also, like, to make people think that we should normalize our body hair, we should normalize our brows, our hair, everything. So,
upper lips is one thing that I've seen a lot girls get very concerned about. And upper lips are not even seen for girls in most of the cases. But it's such a big issue that they feel like they have a mustache that is touching their legs. they worry so much about it. Don't know, people might make them feel like that way, but these are the things that should be normalized. It's very important.
I mean,
I think not only that sense, I think both sides should be normalized. If someone likes to do it the other way, it's fine. You know what I mean? I think that, again, so it should, you know, for something like, there was this huge discussion when Paris wanted to ban the whole burqa movement and everything was happening, right? The only community that actually stood up for them was the nudist community, and it was mental. It's the complete opposite of the spectrum, right? But that's the reason, because they're like, if you're allowing us to roam around naked, what's the problem with someone wearing something on their head? Do you know what I mean? Like, if this is okay for you, why isn't that okay? So I think that's the whole, you know, that's why I'm saying, Arjama, that's why I'm saying these things to you, because I don't usually talk to loads of body positivity people who are involved in that art form specifically. So I'm just thinking, possibly if I can leave even a seed with you, probably it might turn into something that would be, you know, beneficial. But I think it'll be really beautiful if this whole movement starts accepting all spectrums of it. You know, if you want to wear a burqa, you want to wear a hijab, you want to wear, obviously, look out for help if you've been forced into it. I'm up for that, right? Look out for help, give a call to the cops, get this, whatever, whoever's forcing you to do whatever, speak up against it. But if you feel better, like my girlfriend, right? So when we got together in the beginning, she has some pimples on her face. And I kept on telling her, I was like, you look beautiful without your makeup. I really like you the way you are, right? And I was like, I don't know why you put, because you know, her makeup used to get onto my face. And I was like, I don't want that. You know what I mean? When you're home, I just want to clean, right? But now when we were outside and she wears the makeup, I just see a complete different personality. And she likes it. So I was like, well, you know what? It is, if you prefer it that way, that's body positivity as well in a way, you know what I mean? Like, just find your way through. If you like it that way, good. If you like to be with natural hair, that's cool as well. I don't know, what do you think about it, Arjama?
I think that's normal. I mean, what you said, what you mentioned, I think we should think like that. I mean, whatever people want to do, whatever the people confident in, they should do that. I mean, who are we to, tell them that you don't have the autonomy over your body, you know?
It's all social upbringing, you know, it's all the society, it's all, you know, like standards and everything. That being said, the standards of beauty are very different worldwide. I mean, Tanvi would be able to play DC when I say that, you know, if I am to do an advertisement for Colgate, you need perfect teeth, super perfect teeth to be able to, you know, do a dental advertisement or a toothpaste advertisement. But if you go abroad, a gap between the teeth is considered beauty, right in the front. Freckles with a, it's considered a mark of international beauty, by the way, you know. It's appreciated and
I had issue with this thing. I'll tell more about it. Continue.
And even if you talk about freckles, now people are doing it, you know. Makeup artists, Vrinda would know more about it. Like, you know, people are going for freckles now and they're posting pictures and oh my God, international everything. If you go abroad, it's a sign of beauty. In India, it's more like we want perfect. Things are changing. We are learning.
I'm glad they're moving away from this whole thing of perfection altogether, for various reasons. I remember I've met people who've told me, oh, you have a crooked teeth, so on my left profile, you have to give a profile straight, right, left, whatever. And when I smile, I have a crooked tooth, and because I was a thumb sucker when I was a kid, I never ended up getting braces for various reasons when I was younger. And then people come and tell me, because I'm a model and an actor, that I'm in front of the camera, it doesn't look good. I have family, I have people from the work industry telling me this. I know I might get it done eventually, but I don't want it right now. I feel like I'm just going to embrace it. And that is what makes me different, that my smile ends up being different. So when I'm straight, it looks fine, but when I'm on my different profile, it looks different. But that's the thing, you have to kind of just work with it, and that's the different part of it. That's the difference that makes you you.
I think it might actually increase a lot of costing specifically for you if you have something so specific about you. You know what I mean? Like Christian Bale and his sly smile when he smiles like that. You know, like the moment.
Yeah, I have a side smile too, and it works.
Yeah. So I personally love that in casting. If there is a person who has something specific, I'm like, well, I didn't even have to write it, and it's already there. You know what I mean? It adds to the character. So I think it really helps, at least for the new modern sort of filmmakers. I know Bollywood. Bro, I got like, everything right now is completely stuck. Like, I wish things would have started earlier. Like, in Feb things were looking really, really good, but everything was sort of flushed down the drain at the moment. But hopefully, I'm positive things are gonna push back really hard. The way they went down, they're gonna come up like crazily. Hopefully. Yeah.
Awesome.
I had one question with you.
Yeah, go ahead, Zaid.
Your name is very interesting. So what does that mean? I really love names. So what does your name mean?
Are you talking to me, Zaid?
Yes.
All right. Well, Zaigham means a lion, sher, but I'm scared of dogs, so it doesn't really fit. It doesn't really fit. I'm scared of every animal. I'm scared of every animal you can imagine, right? So it doesn't really fit me. But yeah, it means a lion. I have no idea why they came up with it. It's different, so I like it.
You never asked them?
Well,
yeah,
Zaid,
I've never heard that.
There. You're practically there. You've got the ZAI, I'm just gum. You've got the Z. So
D. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, we were talking about cameras, we were talking about shoes, profile, and lesser known facts. Zaigham Bhai, like he's just visited India now, and he's trying to understand the business about filmmaking in India. So, if you have any questions regarding that, because this is the constant what we used to have a lot, like since you were trying to understand the business, how it works in India. Yeah. It's extremely different.
I mean, the only thing that I've sort of always been questioning in the Indian market, like even when I was doing stuff in London, I came here, I used to meet people, they're like, bhai, ek kaam kar, bahar se funding la, India mein banwa de. And I'm just like, if Indians are telling you this themselves, like come and create a slave factory here, just get people, I'll tell you an example. So this film, Life of Pi, was all made by Indians, right? Completely made by Indians, right? The director goes on the stage, he doesn't mention anything about it. I didn't hear any Varma, Sharma, and nothing, right? Nothing. None of the Indian guys. The company went bankrupt, the company that produced that film, because they couldn't get the recognition after. They put everything they had into it. They were known as Rhythm and Blues. And now they're bought by another California-based company. So having said that, when I started, one of the major reasons was like, okay, you know what? I really want to start talking to the VFX industry in India. Because we've made all the Marvel films recently. I don't know if you guys know, Lion King was made in India completely from A to B. Lion King was made in India product, right? And the guy is known as Viren Ghosh. He's the CEO of Technicolor. I'd met him once at an event, and he just started talking about the whole industry and stuff. And I was just asking him, I was like, क्या होता है इंडिया में, like क्या कर क्या रहे हैं लोग इंडिया में? He's like, okay, tell me one VFX film that you remembered recently. I was like, yeah, I watched Lion King. He's like, yeah, we made it. I was like, okay, so you made Lion King? He's like, yeah, completely, everything we made it. And then he went on to show the BTS. So everything was made in Bangalore, right? Everything. The Thor, I'm not a big Avengers fan. The Thor was made in Bangalore. Do you know what I mean? But no one in the academy knows about this. And that's when I was like, as Vijay Bhai is saying, I was talking to my mates, I was like, guys, we've always been saying, let's get brand representation. But this is such a huge place where they need to sort of come up. So so that's majorly what I'm venturing into at the moment. I'm trying to meet a lot of VFX people. But my question, if it is to all the fellow artists here about the Indian industry specifically, is do you think the audiences have changed towards what are they expecting out of the filmmaker, or is it still about ladka ladki ko pyar hua, baap ne mana kiya and kuch chura ke le gaya? You know what I mean?
I think the audience has changed a lot now, because I think it's too much of drama with, like what you said, ladka ladki ko pyar hua and all. It's too much done now. I think since the new generation, what is coming up, they're seeing a lot of, Hollywood stuff, and so even we expect Bollywood to stand somewhere now. Like it's high time that they need to buck up and make something which actually audience want to see and not what they want to show. And especially it's more about numbers, like kitna picture kitna kamaya hai. Like just think what is there in the industry that needs to change. I think it shouldn't be no more about what they want to show. It should be what people want to see. That's why the OTT platforms are doing so well now. Like if you see Netflix, if you see other other platforms also, like I'm sure people love to see those things more than going in a theater and seeing a movie now. So it's definitely changed.
Just want to add to that, like if you don't have tomatoes in the market, you're not going to want it. If the audience was never fed enough of this information, but we have this sudden burst of, like Anushka Sharma said, that if I don't ask for such roles, nobody's going to give me such roles.
Yep.
So if people are not going to say that, if the audience doesn't pay for tickets that are an NH10 or Bahubali was made in Chennai. My friends have been in that casting and the making and the editing. My friend is the post-production guy. They have really...
Does he work in Makot? Does he work in Makot?
Sorry?
Was that the company Makot who did it, right?
So Chennai basically freelances a lot together and they sit and collaborate. The companies may be the major companies, I'm not sure of the name, but they have a lot of people who come in for those things to like consult and things like that. So he was in a part of the team in I think he was doing sound effects for Bahubali. So if I'm consuming what I get, if I don't consume enough of something that I want to project, then nobody's going to make what I want. So what you asked, that do we want enough romantic? I think even like a brand ambassador for a romantic movie in our country, Shah Rukh Khan, even he says, I'm done doing this. Nobody wants to watch me anymore. He has said time and again in his movies, that in his interviews, that nobody's watching me anymore. I have to be different.
Actually, he has said it in an earlier interview. He has also said, like someone asked him, "Yaar, aap sirf ye kyun karte ho? Why are you so adamant upon the thoughtful romance and everything? Like जो सपनों में होता है." He's like, "यार, audience को अच्छा लगता है. So I provide. It's a demand and supply situation. There's nothing more to it. You say you want something else, I'll do something else." And frankly speaking,
I was about to say that. Yeah.
I think
the South Indian industry. I'm not an expert in this thing, but the South Indian industry, they do all the dishum and they cutting the bullet into half with the teeth and with the finger. It makes no sense, but people enjoy it, and even we watch it because people enjoy it.
Super amazing.
So it's true. The demand supply thing is true. So they have a very different taste, but overall Indian market, what I feel, I don't even remember the last time I saw a movie. Even last night I was watching Netflix. So Netflix OTT platforms are doing well because they're providing something that is different from the age-old Indian cinema.
I think Zaid,
I can totally agree with Zaid bhai on this. Like Kannada industry, I'm from Bangalore. The Kannada industry is still beating the same old shit. Only KGF is a new refreshing movie, or else still they are making the same old. Either लड़की को प्यार हुआ, उधर से भाग गई, उधर से माँ बाप आए, वाला ही चल रहा है. KGF is the only movie which has come out with a refreshing thing.
There are very underrated good movies. Well, I mean, there are South Indian movies which are really underrated, but they're like really good. Like Tumba did not get the recognition it was supposed to get, right? I mean, it was really amazing. Yeah, but it did not get that kind of recognition it should have.
Yeah, I mean, the audience is becoming.
Yeah, the mainstream media need to, actually push this thing and make these underrated movies. And plus, there are so many nice movies from Assam, from Nagaland, from so many places. It's not just like, just not Mumbai based or not Bangalore based or not Chennai based. There are other places as well. And there are so many other, underrated filmmakers who are trying to push the boundaries and make our audience watch good movies, like which has a good storyline, not just the romantic, story. And
as
I think
what we consume. So Tanvi, Zaigham, me, Zaid, all of us basically. If we start promoting such things on our stories, on our posts, at some point it will get some recognition somewhere, because then they'll see that people want to see it rather than a sponsored promotion.
Yeah.
Right. See, that is why OTT platforms are doing so well now.
Yeah.
Because you've got so much of option, and the best thing is that you will see what you want to see because you've got so much content.
Yeah. But
I think what happens with the audience in India is that you keep, like we said, demand and supply, what Chaitanya said. They consume what you give them, and Indian audience is so tricky because our hierarchy. It's like the mass, and then there's all sorts of people from different states, different languages. So it gets really tricky for a filmmaker to figure out what will provide the mass and how I can make this like a moment. Zindagi Na Milegi Do. A lot of Zoya Akhtar films, what I like about them are because even if, for example, even if she's showing a gully boy, or even if she's showing like an upper class movie, what was the name of that movie? Dil Dhadakne Do. Now those are two different audience reach if you look at it, but then the people who are rich are gonna go and watch Gully Boy. People who are not so, it's always that contrast. It's what a life that you have not lived, which you try and get some sort of learning from. There's always like this big message, and people like to hold that as an experience. Whatever they watch, it should be remembered. You watch a whole lot of things, right? There's so much that's coming out. There's so much of the same repetitive things coming out. So whenever you have something new, you might feel like, the minute you have a question of will this work, is such a gray area. Sometimes it might end up working because it's not been made before, right? If you feel like, no, this won't fall into that category, or I've not seen this happen before. Like a filmmaker would question, like, ye chalega ki nahi chalega, I don't know, but that's the risk factor that always is there. And
But yeah, I think adding on the whole discussion, I just feel that one of the major, because I've always been thinking, why is it? Because me as a filmmaker, the moment I start writing something, when I put on my producer's hat, I'll read it again and I'll be like, okay, fine, where am I going to take this now? Which platform is it going to be, and stuff like that? Because right now I'm working on a very niche sort of a market. I didn't want to jump into feature films because I know how competitive that is. So I'm only doing sort of short films. And even in that, you have to be so careful which platform are you going to. Are you going to Shorts TV? Because Shorts TV is so fancy, Oscar nominated films lete hain, or are you going to someone like Pocket Films? Just get 2 million subscribers at YouTube, right? But it's just
I think almost now 3 million, I can say
almost
that.
Almost 3 million.
Yeah, because my husband, he works for Pocket Films.
Does he? Amazing. What's his name?
Rishi.
Nice. So it's just like there is such a in this industry as well. Like I was talking to Umesh the other day. I don't know, Vijay and Chirag. They both. I think even Chaitanya knows him, and all of us we were just having a chat with him the other day. So I was talking to Umesh and I was like, why is it that BBK wines, right, is more popping than AIB? Why is it that, Ashish Chanchale, I don't know if you guys know Ashish Chanchale. Ashish Chanchale, there's some other...
Chanchlani.
Yeah, Ashish Chanchlani, and then there's someone known, some Bhadana, some guy known as Bhadana and stuff. You know what I mean? So it's like, again, the audience will again come down to people that they can really relate to, right? So the moment our stories get really complex for the Indian audience, it'll only be people who can afford a Netflix, chill at home and watch, right? But the mass people, यार सुबह एक बंदा अभी बेचारा अपनी खेती बाड़ी करके आया है, right? आप जाओगे, वो एंटरटेनमेंट देखने जा रहा है, आप उसको दिखाओगे, अरे बट जिंदगी में कभी ऐसा हुआ, वो कह रहा है भाई मेरी जिंदगी बहुत खराब है, मुझे नहीं देखना और कुछ भी, मैंने करनी है मस्ती, right? And that's why I'm gonna say this for the record, I respect Salman Khan in that sense. Why? Because he knows exactly what he's doing. He's not trying to act smart. He won't try to do a fancy story and then nahi. Bhai, meri entertainment package hai, humka peeni hai, all of these kind of songs is what I'm going to give you because you can come, you're going to enjoy and forget about the world, right? And he picks up people, ek police wala, chota sa ghar hai, biwi, dada, bhai, ye sab, chota sa ghar hai, he goes out and he becomes a hero. So me, main bhi kheti badi karke hu, main bhi hero ho sakta hu yaar. And that's why I still support the idea of for example, Sanjay Leela Bhansali as well. He's larger than life, but I respect him. I think he's the most respectable filmmaker for me. Because again, what he's doing is he's keeping Bollywood alive. Bollywood is about an amalgamation of dance, music. It's rich, you know? Let's keep that alive, but at the same time, bring in stories that can sort of intermingle with the same mainstream concept, ladka ladki ko pyar hua, but add in so much knowledge in there that they don't even realize कि वो इतना मजा करके घर गए और फिर सोच रहे यार पता है उसने क्या बोला था उसमें, हाँ यार ये शायद से गलत है. You know, I think if the Indian filmmakers shift towards that direction, that'll be so much better than making something like Sacred Games. You know what I mean? कितने लोगों को समझ आएगा Sacred Games यार? कितने लोगों को समझ आएगा?
I think the control has shifted. The control has shifted, you know. Initially क्या होता था कि अगर आप कोई movie बनाओ या कुछ करो, then people will go to the theater, they'll watch it. And कितने लोग यार? You guys, how many of you have gone and left the movie midway? चाहते हो तो पूरा देख के आते हो, right?
Yeah, never.
Exactly. And even if your friends have watched a movie, you will just go in, right? You will just go in for the, अरे सब देख रहे यार, देखते what's the hype about? गंदी भी है फिर भी देख लोगे. But the point is now, with OTT and everything, the entire control is in the audience's hand. अगर वो लोग देख रहे हैं उनको नहीं अच्छा लगा, immediately they will go back and to the next. जो लोग से Netflix नहीं देखा जाता, वो you know they are going for something like हाँ मतलब जिनको देखना है वो लोग देख ही लेते हैं. That's what I meant. But the point is the control is now in the audience's hand. Be it YouTube, Netflix, Hotstar, Alt, it can be anything. But with the shift of control, I think what we show is definitely changing.
I think this is also, just to add on to what he's saying, the reason Anushka Sharma started a production is because she said, I want to back such people who say that I want to be in the mainstream cinema. I think what is called clear plate, so something like clean slate.
Yeah.
So she's like, she said that in some interview. I think she was promoting Sui Dhaga, and she said, no, me and my brother only reach out or help out movies where, like movies like Chintu Ka Birthday. She said, I would have loved to sponsor or fund a Chintu Ka Birthday. That was it's a niche, it's a one-day story. Even Chennai industry, now a lot of my generation or just the previous generation directors, so there's this movie with a night shot. It's one camera placed one place and it's one conversation, which is a movie.
Nice.
It's just that, like Zoe Akhtar's done this one camera shot. Everyone's just saying, I don't care, mass come. Even the come audience, अगर वो छोटी सी percentage सारी गई, तो मैं अपना पैसा कमा लूँगा. So they're doing some really creative stuff. Like, of course, to have the film industry GDP or whatever that's called, there will be mass movies. But everyone's shifting to, like, I'm sorry, these terms I know because I've also like spoken to a few people to understand. But like, they've really, like, even in the Tamil industry, we did a movie where it was extreme gunfighting, banduk nikal rahi hai, but the camera shots were crazy. And as a stylist, I am also set designer. The set designing was different level. Like, terrible dialogues. I want to kill the dialogue writer. But the set design was like, even Kalank, honestly, is a pathetic movie. But the set designing is crazy.
That was amazing.
That water is still water. If you see the movie, it has ripples. So the set designer, my friend interned with, I asked, they said they've used things to like make it ripple. It is crazy amount of creativity. People are like, big budget में मैं creativity घुसा दूँगा, so they used to that. छोटे budget में मैं story डालूँगा. So this is weird balance that people are trying to create now, which is fab.
Would you say, because you're into set, would you say Sanjay Leela Bhansali is sort of getting a good mix into it?
Oh my God.
I love it.
I would do a free of cost. मुझे कुछ नहीं चाहिए, मुझे उस सेट पे बस एक मेरे को लैंप पे फिक्स करना हो मैं कर दूँ. Beautiful.
I swear to God.
In Padmavat,
it's a dream to work on his
God.
set. Yeah.
In Padmavat, there's a scene where Ranveer Singh throws flowers and he's holding a girl and does that to like get the perfume on him.
Oh yeah.
There are 12 mirrors placed around him, and there's a chandelier which has multiple colors. The light, oh my God, the glass used is crazy. Like you say, Sanjay Leela Bhansali, I can go on. What is that? And if you see the makeup, I'm sure you can tell, they have layers of makeup, like some 25 layers to like, emote that emotion. It's not just the actor. The makeup artist, like Ranveer
Yeah,
Singh was big on him. Oh my god.
You know the stuff he was
So the
wearing at
first
the end
time
of
I-
was 12 kilos or something. The stuff that he was wearing in Kalbali.
Yeah.
And Ranveer
95
Singh,
kilo, उसके ऊपर
Yeah.
15 kilo.
and Ranveer Singh was like, इसने मुझे end पे कराया because he wanted me to sort of be hopeless. But you know when you're really tired and then that a moment of power comes in.
Yeah.
So Sanjay Leela Bhansali wanted him to do that. I'm like, bro, this guy is crazy. But that's love, you know. That sort of cinema we need. And thank God he's mainstream. Thank God we have someone like him who's mainstream who can still make something good.
Yeah.
Even in Bajirao Mastani, the last scene where the horses are running.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I can go on, but
He's too perfect for his film. Like, is each and every shot he makes sure that it has to be epic,
yeah.
and he can never go wrong with those things.
And we need to respect Sudeep Chatterjee for that. Like his DOP, he is absolutely amazing. Like, you know, as you were saying, if you see any shot, especially the wide shots when he's going in, not even like a centimeter of a stuff that's on the right hand side is differently on the left. It's a style, right? But every shot you go in, it's like, you know, it's like maths.
Like a painting.
Yeah.
It's crazy how calculated everything is, but it's beautiful. Yeah.
Like they tell us in a movie when I in an ad actually when I said to them, they said try and give me a poster shot framing. They tell us sometimes ki one frame you make it like I can make that a poster shot. Sanjay Leela Bhansali, even if you screenshot every frame is a poster. You don't need to do anything. मेरे को poster नहीं बनवाना तो movie बनाओ. I will find my poster. It is fab.
You know, I can just listen to Samiha keep speaking about Sanjay Leela Bhansali. I just love the way he speaks about it. I'm like,
I feel like she has multiple orgasms while talking about it.
Yeah.
It's so energetic.
What? But Tanvi, what did you say?
I said Samiha's super multi-talented and a multitasker.
yeah, I can totally see that in her vibe, you know. So Vrinda, what do you want to say about the importance of makeup and all these things? You know, because many times it goes so much about the director, about the actor, about the production house, and when it comes to makeup, it sometimes gets a little lost or doesn't get the correct level of importance, I feel.
Right. So it's very important, like Sanjay Leela Bhansali movies, and even Kalank. If you see, it's like it's very easy to go wrong with makeup if it's not done right. Your whole effort of the set, of the costume, everything can just go wrong just because of makeup. So you like the sense of these when you're doing these kind of movies, it's very important to keep a balance of minimalistic and at the same time that it should look pretty sharp. So like these things are very important. Even hair, like in that matter. Like if you're wearing a very simple costume, or if you're wearing like too much sequins or something, your hair cannot be like big, or it can't overpower the look. It has to complement the look.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always,
you know, like Taapsee Pannu, where I think she was making such an effort to look at the age and everything. But I felt, and it's a personal opinion, maybe the makeup kind of let it a bit down. That's a personal opinion. Maybe the prosthetics.
Which movie are you talking about?
Taapsee Pannu and
Yeah.
I
See,
think that's
again,
why
because
they have multiple. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
I think that's why also they have multiple look tests in a movie to like figure out which is the best one they want to fit in. Because then the director or producer, everyone comes in and says, "I feel like that."
I think you know.
Yeah.
Go on, Chaitanya.
No, I'm saying maybe just me, because I have like a friend who's into prosthetic makeup and she's like really into it. So when she showed me a model who's probably, you know, who looks in real life like Tanvi, like as pretty and as young and everything as Tanvi. But when she did the prosthetic makeup, after Tanvi's done feeling all side. So after, you know, she did the prosthetic makeup and everything to make her look old. Like first she showed me the old picture and then she like, you know what? This girl is that. I'm like, what? And after seeing that, you know, like when I saw the capacity, I was like, dude, have been better.
See, that is the
this because
difference, that is prosthetics and the makeup artist is different, right? So here comes in production, the decision maker.
Yeah.
Like if you call a makeup artist to do something like this, of course the person has its limitation and will only do its best.
Correct.
But when you want to do something like this drastic, like bhais ki aankh, so there has to be a prosthetic artist with you. You cannot kaam chalao with a makeup artist, or just to cut down your expenses or something. So this is the major reason and major area where a lot of people go wrong. So just to save a little bit of money over there, you don't call a prosthetic artist. So this is what happens then.
Yeah, I personally have a lot of respect for makeup artists, especially makeup artists, just because I don't like, just one thing that I always struggle with is a brown nose on screen. It pisses me off so much because, it becomes shiny and then you have to keep on, I don't know. All the makeup artists, I just tell them, yeah, bro, white powder le aao. That's all I know what it called. But I don't know what they call it. There's a name for it. There is a name for it that it just sort of blends it out. But it's just like even that, even that is like such a small detail, but you miss it. And on the screen, you try to uplift the highlights. That's it. You're done. Your skin is burnt. Do you know what I mean? So it's like honestly, I have a lot of respect for makeup artists specifically. I mean, obviously, each and every department is as important as any other.
And hence,
ultimately, the teamwork, team effort that puts in. It's like what I said. Each and every department's small detailing matters.
Yeah.
Like you have to do best in your job, otherwise the output is not going to be like Sanjay Leela Bhansali. We can make
Yeah. I mean, Sanjay Leela Bhansali.
It's all about collaborations and everybody putting their best foot forward and making sure that they work diligently and not kind of just do it for the heck of it, right? You have to be in it 100%, whatever it may be, and then it shows.
Very true. And I think, on set, I mean, I don't know, in terms of modeling, I've experienced more than acting, because I think at least at the moment, I'm more of a model than an actor. So, by profile at least. So, there's this kind of an energy, like even between the photographer and between the model. So many things go unsaid, and the photographer will, he'll be struggling with words, but the model will understand what he wants. There's so unsaid, weird things just happening, and everyone is just zoned out and, understanding without speaking a single word and on point and perfect. So,
and sometimes it's so difficult after saying also and explaining.
I call that language of art.
Nice.
I think with me and Tanvi is because we did a shoot together. And
I was thinking too, Sam. I was thinking.
Me and my friend who's a photographer went down to Bombay to shoot a couple of shoots together. And so he always says that कैमरा और मॉडल के बीच रोमांस हो रहा है और मैं बीच में बस मीडिएट कर रहा हूँ कि क्या रोमांस होना है. That's my job. My job is just to tell them, please continue with the romance. They just need to romance it. Always say that, and he says, please do. If anything has to be changed, I will tell you. He's like, I think that's why we both were smiling.
Yeah, it's those unsaid things, like I said, the language of art. It's your understanding of yourself and the respect you have for the individuals you're working, for what they bring in, and also being yours and not always going just with. Okay, that one goes for their moment out. Okay, moment of silence for that. Anyway, so yeah, I think it's respecting the individuals you're around and taking in and absorbing whatever that's in their head. And at times you're uncertain as to what happened on set. I've had days where I feel like I'm not sure whether the shots are gonna turn out nice or whether that scene is gonna turn out nice. But when I do see the outcome, you somewhere have to believe in the artist around you if you feel low about what you brought in. So it's a hand in hand thing constantly. It's never a single person show ever.
Yeah, I think
it's the experience what matters. Sorry, somebody was talking, right?
Go on.
No, I was just saying it's the experience what brings so much out from you. Like the more you work, the more you understand what you're supposed to do and what you're not supposed to do.
Yeah. No, I think Tanvi, adding on what you said, I think so I wasn't directing for a long time. I was only producing. I stepped into directing, like I've just finished directing 2 more short films recently, and now I'm pitching a series and stuff like that. But like, one thing that I really learned, and because I always used to sort of listen to different people, different directors interviewing and sort of saying what's their way to go. And obviously as a director, you have to find your way. There's no this way or that way, right? But what I really appreciate is how you sort of let the actor breathe. So what I do usually is I get them, I'm like, okay, this is your home. Go mental, do whatever you want. I need this dialogue, and this dialogue. That's all I need for my cut. The rest, you can make it your own words. And I think just that sort of trust that you give someone else, it just like, I've had some performances which I'm like, my God, man, I never thought that. I never thought. And like the best example is Goodfellas. The one that Scorsese made, and Joe Pesci goes and that famous scene of "You think I'm funny." Have you guys watched that?
Yes.
The famous scene of "You think I'm funny." Yeah, it wasn't written, it wasn't directed. It's just Joe Pesci. It's just Joe Pesci. Yeah, and he's just like, "You think I'm funny."
It was so into character that it just comes out naturally. That's what being in the moment for an actor is that you're so much into the scene. That's why a lot of times actors, the reason why that silence before an action, when you call for action, there's a silence. That silence is not just for the artist to remember his or her lines, but it's also for that human to get into that body of that character. Yeah. You have to give them that space of isolation for just about a couple of minutes right before that action. That always works for me. I remember when I was on set of Rejects, the ADs and people who were around me, I was doing a scene in the hospital. It was a very intense scene, and I didn't get out of character. It didn't happen naturally, but I felt like I had not given enough, and I decided to, I was just like, okay, like, don't talk to me, just like, let's roll again one more time. So that, understanding that the director has to really believe in you, and I think that really shines, that shows on camera. I'm always, like, Samiha has asked me this before. She's like, you're shy, like, I'm a shy person. I don't easily talk, it takes me time. But I'm improving that bit, because being an actor, you have to talk, you have to meet people, etc. But there's this insecurity, or there's this fright in you, because there's so many people watching you. Sometimes I have to block that away and then just be there. But where does that come from? I have realized it comes from the director. If he shows belief in you that you belong here, you belong, and I have chosen you to be in front of that camera. Nothing else matters. There are people talking a lot of things around you, especially an actor, for various reasons. There are things said like, oh, she has tantrums, oh, she wants this and that. But the reason why
you've heard people say that behind you?
No. People say, oh, actors and models, you hear so much being said around you while you're on set. It's not anything in particular. What I have taught myself is that it's just because they have less knowledge about what you're doing, right? Yeah, so either you take that, you hear that, and you educate them about why it is the way it is, or why you behave a certain way, or you just decide to block that and continue doing what you have come for. So I think, that director and that actor connection, this partnership is a really big thing, just as a photographer and a model. So yeah.
I kind of just got this moment of laughter the moment you said that there's so many things being said behind us. The kind of things I've heard and seen, I'm like, done it.
I mean, I don't think it's just that actor. I think everybody on set, they just need to say something about someone.
I mean, see, I understand the set politics, but it's really sad if you as an actor actually end up hearing something. Like, I've been really, really particular about this because, I did theatre first. I used to do Nukkad Natak, going street when I was in India. Because I wasn't as confident about anything I did, right? I did Nukkad Natak, and I was literally looking into people's eyes and talking to them, right? And it was about the Damini rape case. It was about Damini, and we went to bus stands and we did it. We literally went into bus stands and we performed it. So this was, I think, 5 years ago, 2015 or something. And then, so I think after realizing that sort of like, you know, coming from that background, coming from the act, like when you, like I've got so much respect for people in front of camera. I cannot do it. I'm a shit actor. I'm really, really bad. And I know that.
Same
right?
here.
But yeah, I really respect people in front of the camera. And there's one thing that I make sure, I'm like, you guys can bullshit about each other. You guys can say whatever you want to each other. But the actors cannot be disturbed because it's such a naive place to be in at that moment. You know, you're letting
extremely vulnerable. It's it's so sensitive. And you know how they tell people to be thick-skinned. I mean, you can only be so thick-skinned that it doesn't show on your face in front of the camera. But it's difficult. It's not as easy as it's said. Oh, you just need to be thick-skinned. No, it's I think a responsibility that everybody on set has, and just as artists, just respect, give them that space, give everybody space. Everybody has their moment.
Very true, and I think the purest form of art comes from a place of vulnerability. If that makes sense for you.
Yeah, I get it.
I want to ask everybody, how is lockdown and post that? I mean, Zaigham said that he wants to start work, but he's not. But do you see a transformation in the kind of art forms that are happening post the lockdown since people have time to introspect?
Man, I've literally changed my script. To distance. Like it's the whole concept is about distance now. So I'm pitching this series that I'm trying to make it sort of, it's a thing based, I can't say much, but it's a thing based, one of the major sort of characters in itself is distance and how that fucks up with everything. Do you know what I mean? So I'm just trying to, because I'm like, dekh yaar, tu to nahi jayega nazdeek logon ke. Tu phattu hai. And I know it. I've just accepted it. But I'm like, okay, but I can't leave making films. I love that. So I'm like, okay, that's what
I can completely relate to this because even I've not started working yet. So I'm still at home, still scared. I'm like, no, I don't want to start. It's okay. I'll take a little more time. But it's like, as you said, fattu, it's really difficult to convince yourself, okay, you have to go, you have to deal with a lot of people, and I'm a complete introvert, and again, like, it's very difficult for me to go out, speak a lot. And so I want to thank Chaitanya for this call, because I was like, oh, I don't want to do it, but then Chaitanya was like, please come. I'm like, okay, let me do it. So thanks, Chaitanya, for this. I think I really enjoyed it. It was fun talking to all of you. And there's so much to learn. I realized, like, different perspectives, different art, like people from different art forms. You learn a lot. You see things from a different perspective now.
Exactly.
So for me, the lockdown has been going really great. I'm taking a lot of self-portrait. I have a lot of marks on my body. So I'm doing a series called Daag Achhe Hain. And so to make people, like, to make people understand that our bodies are not flawless as it's like said by the mainstream media, but we do have marks, and we need to embrace that because it's a part of our body. So I'm doing that, and also, like, people were approaching me for virtual shoots, but it does not work out for me. I don't know. I mean, virtual shoots are like a no for me. So I'm working out, and let's see.
Arjama, I just have an idea for you. You can use it. You said Daag Achhe Hain. Surf Excel had a whole marketing campaign on that. You should try to talk to them, get them to sponsor or something.
Okay.
Yeah, I just thought.
Okay. It might work.
Yeah, totally. See, this is the reason I made this damn thing. Give each other ideas, help each other out, grow, all of you.
Yes, Chaitanya has done something good during the lockdown.
Tanvi saying something.
Not chahte hue bhi I have to give you some credit. Also, indirectly, Chaitanya has given me employment of hosting events. So I'm fine with it. Man, things will change like anything after lockdown. I don't know. Things were changed during the lockdown itself. Like 7, 11, 12 events were lined up and everything was getting cancelled. I was getting calls by pandemic ho gaya, COVID aa gaya, cancel ho raha hai, and then lockdown happened. I'm like, bhai, tatkal mein bhai unemployed hoga, ab kya karunga karke time. And suddenly things worked. Jugaad. It was jugaad. So anything worked. I was like, "Bhai, kuch bhi karo." I'll just see. I got a random call of hosting an event for a event manager. My very old probably first client. So she called up and like, "Bhai, host करना है, virtual event है. Will you do it?" पता घर पे ही बैठा हूँ क्या करूँगा करके. I just did it. It worked like anything, and I don't know how things like people will be like more excited now for the virtual things or more habituated to virtual events or like they are actually waiting for everything to get normal and just go out and party. I don't know. As of now, I'm just living the present now. I'm just not thinking about the changes which will be happening after lockdown. Yes,
for
Tanvi.
the advertising world, it's quite a good time right now because the campaigns are changing for all brands. A lot of advertising work happening. In terms of long projects at length, they are happening, but everyone's so uncertain. Things are a little scary, like Vrinda said. I know it's really, really tricky to work in a time like this, but yeah, keeping your safety in mind. I think only you can be responsible about your safety and your hygiene, but it's about how comfortable you are to be out there. Because it's like mind conditioning, right? You're there completely. If you're not there here and you're like, it can't be mixed up. It has to be aligned when you're outside. So whenever you feel it's right, you can step out. I think it's fine. People are taking care for sure. I've been on set about twice outside, like proper production houses, and people who I've worked with before because I wanted to be careful. But I worked with new people as well. So yeah, it's scary, but you can be out there. That's what you're kind of struggling with right now. But things are happening and starting to roll out. Just be careful.
That's so polyglot. Zaid bhai, would you like to add anything? What are the changes that you have observed, like during the lockdown and after lockdown gets off?
So, fitness is equivalent to gym for many people. And for myself, when gym stopped, it was a big like a headbanger for me, for most of the people. But then we started with the home workout series, and it was difficult in the earlier stages because people were scared to spend anything. But then as time went by, people understood that the fitness is something that they should invest. And we had over 300 people, I guess, 400 people who signed up during this COVID time. So it was a good thing that people are more aware about fitness and health and wellness. That's one thing, but I'm desperately waiting for gyms to open, and I want to go out. I want to go out for a haircut, and we are waiting for things to open. Because see, isolation, it impacts your psychology a lot. Because most people, even though they're connected via virtually, but the human touch and the people being around, it's a very different thing. So you cannot replace the human touch and feel with mobile or screen. So I do feel that it is important.
And
also, one more thing.
Awesome. Yeah.
Last thing, a very personal favor or something, whatever you understand out of it. We have models, actors, and many people, talented people, makeup artists, and everyone. So see, I am struggling. I want to learn acting and I want to learn dance. So these are the two things. Maybe wherever we connect, so just let me know how can I do that thing. Acting not for the show or set, it's for my personal brand, nothing else. But then we have some really great talented people over here. So I would really love some input.
Awesome. So we are coming finally at the last bit of the whole show, whole session. Now we'll give you like 3, 4, 5 minutes if you guys want to connect with
Vijay
each other.
I think Pele Samiha ji should complete what she started. So she should also tell us about her. You just, made all of us.
Your experience of the lockdown, what are the challenges? What are the expectations? Please share.
So when
Nation wants to know. With population of 6.
In April, I did start a series of FaceTime shoots. I actually started off with one of my classmates at Tanvi. That escalated very quickly for me. I have not been able to reach the heights I did with FaceTime shoots. I have worked with S.R. Channa, I worked with Kubra Seth, I worked with Anshuman Malhotra, I worked with Prabal Punjabi, and it was crazy. In real life, it would take me 5-6 years to connect with them. in FaceTime shoots. In 4 months, I have done 30 different shoots. And it is crazy how we've escalated. Thank you. Crazy how we escalated. And I think that's the only thing that kept me relevant. I don't have much of a following on Instagram because I don't promote. Like brands and actors and directors promote. Stylists and the more back-end team does not promote because it doesn't make sense for us. कौन कितने लोग देखेंगे हमारा? So I have organically grown through the FaceTime shoots. That kept me relevant. And since August 18th, I started the first day I went on August 18th. Only thanks to my FaceTime shoots, I haven't stopped working since August 18th. I have worked every day. And like people are calling me and saying, "आप 2 shift कर लो एक दिन में, आप काम कर लो." I'm like, no, एक दिन में एक shoot करेगा. Otherwise, I'm very scared like that. I need my father's low immunity, so I'm careful. But the FaceTime shoots really kept me relevant. I have done. So I do a lot of different designing. I'm an accessory designer. That's why my set designing also comes in play. I also have my own brand. So I marketed my brand really well. I did my FaceTime shoots. I was doing website designing. I was doing graphic designing. I was doing I was just jewelry designing for brands. I did so much. I painted. I sold my paintings. I handmade jewelry. I did a lot.
So I wanna. While Samiha goes on about her
Only
day,
multitasking, man.
about Samiha, everybody who doesn't know her so much. I think she's that one person. So when this lockdown happened, I had just finished my series and come back from Bangkok, and I reconnected with Samiha for that FaceTime shoot. Was the first conversation we had, and then it just kept going on. And now she also manages a lot of my work too, and styles me. So every time I felt like I couldn't expand myself more with this, just staying inside and indoors. She was that one person who kept encouraging. I think just seeing her work so much.
Too much. Internet is freeze.
I mean, we can hear you.
Yeah.
I can hear
okay,
you.
okay. Okay, I thought I heard something. So yeah, about her, she's if you connect to her, I think everybody should connect to Samiha. She's that one person who make you feel like, oh, you need to get going with life and just do. And she's so fearless in terms of reaching out to people. That's one major thing that I've learned, and I'm saying it out loud in front of everybody. I have somebody who's a little more shy when it comes to reaching out to people who I don't know. I feel like, oh, I might come across a little, like. People have different ways of looking at you, right? When you reach out to yourself for work. But she's taught me that. She's taught me that you should be, you shouldn't have that, I don't know how to say it, but that boundaries of, oh, I shouldn't message. Besharam is what she calls it. Just be besharam and kind of just put yourself out there, because there's so many people doing the same thing that you are. How are you going to make yourself stand out is by letting people know that you exist. The existence can come in place when you kind of keep bombarding people and kind of sort of annoy them in a way that you're there and you're doing work. And that's what she did, and it really worked for her. She's consistently shot about 30 shoots, Samiha? 30 FaceTime shoots with people she didn't know. She shot with Kubra Said, and I'm like, how did you get her to do it? And I'm like, wow, I'm so inspired by her. And I have recently started reaching out to brands and people that I don't know, but I really wish to work and collab with now because of her. So yeah, this whole connecting with different people really gets the energy going, and you feel like doing something.
Amazing. Okay, talking about connections, yes, we'll be giving you 5 odd minutes. You can, if you guys want to have share number, profile, Instagram profile, anything. That is totally up to you guys. This is something that you won't be getting from our end. That is from the Artist Roundtable. Feel free to share your contact. You can just drop in the message.
I will do so.
Yes. मैं भी अपना दे देता हूँ चैतन्य. जबरदस्ती कोई, if you guys are planning some birthday parties, anything, virtual event, I'm there. ठीक है, I've done almost everything now. मुंडन छोड़ के. I hosted almost any other things. I'll just do that also. यहाँ पे.
Vijay has done baby showers also.
हाँ. virtual baby shower event.
Yes, do follow and support.
Chaitanya, there's one question. This is one hack that you have given me. You have not shared this hack with them of generating a link. These guys are literally typing it. You guys can, but then there's a hack wherein you can just generate your Instagram link and you can just share that. This is the moment when you click, automatically you will just go to that page.
So it's like www.instagram.com/ and then you enter. Oh yeah, guys, do follow and support Dealing with the Self. It's a little brand I've basically just started. I'm still working on the logistics, but I hope to make a difference in whatever way I can. I mean, I'll be very honest with you, okay? Initially, I thought, yeah, I'm a very small model. I've just begun. Probably, I'll try to make a difference for people when my voice is more heard, or when I'm a bigger celebrity or someone bigger in the industry. As time passed by, I realized that, there's always someone above you, and you always feel like you've just started. So maybe just try to do and help the way you can right now. So, yeah.
Oh man. All the best.
Awesome.
All the best, Chaitanya. I'm sure you'll rock.
Someone was telling something, Vrinda. Awesome. Okay, final words. Matlab feedback. If any feedback that you want to give on our face, like Chaitanya's face. If it's good, give me the compliments. If it's bad, Chaitanya is your guy. Yeah. I believe you will be sharing the feedback form also, Chaitanya, if I'm not wrong.
It will be, but since, bring on the feedbacks, yeah. Just abhi bhi session khatam hua hai, kya lag raha hai aap? How bad was it? How good was it? Whatever.
I got to learn a lot.
Changes.
Got to learn a lot. Thank you.
I enjoyed it a lot. I usually, whenever I talk, I'm supposed to talk about fitness because that's what people call me for. But then when we meet a different set of people, like-minded to be precise, it's an amazing time that I have.
Thank you, Zaid.
Thank you, Chaitanya.
You're one person who touched his hair more than I did. So thank you.
I really want to stop my hair. I was going to go yesterday evening, but then now I'm going to take an appointment and something right now.
So whenever the people are going to say stuff about my hair, I'm going to ask, Zaid to stay beside me so that, mere pe se attention aa jayega.
I am really struggling with this. So I have straight hair and they keep falling on my face. I am going to go and stop them all.
भाई मैं क्या बोलूं फिर?
इसको क्या बोलेगा फिर भाई? मेरी बाई बोलती है खाता खत्म हो गया तुम्हारा बाल दे दो बर्तन धोने करके. कुछ नहीं कर सकता. Okay. Any other feedback anyone who wants to share, please?
I think it was just pleasant. It was really nice. Thank you so much, Chaitanya, for letting me be a part of this. I really loved it. It was really nice talking to all of you. Getting to know more people is always nice in this industry. As you guys know, contacts is the only thing. So it was nice. It was nice to interact. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Honestly, I think I'd love to be on this multiple times to meet more people. It's like a roundup.
It's not easy to, general life, meet more creatives because you tend to meet a lot of engineers, medicine, because your friends are that way. It's nice to meet like-minded, your age, creative people.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Great. भाई चैतन्य बस की और तारीफ सुननी थी जबरदस्ती. Or we can just end the session now.
I guess we can.
I love your shirt. By the way, I love your shirt. I don't know why you complained in the beginning. I love your shirt. मेरे को मिलता मैं रख लेती.
I know.
Modesty ना कुछ चीज़ होती है वो use करता हूँ लेकिन यही पहनना था.
Exact same shirt.
It's called footage man.
अरे बाप रे आदमी रहने.
Sure, guys. Thank you so much for coming, and definitely please do stay connected to me, yes, and to each other. Keep supporting each other. Sure.
Most definitely.
Bye guys. Take
Thank you
care.
for connecting.
Bye guys. Take
Bye,
care.
guys.
Bye.
If we just leave, but if this will go like this. Bye.
Bye, Arjama. Bye, Vrinda.
Bye everybody. Bye, Tanvi.